Welcome to YouTube channel. This class for BCom Computer Applications, final year, semester 6, subject Electronic Commerce, Unit 2, topics HTTP and other protocols. What is HTTP? Hypertext Transfer Protocol. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Earlier classes I discussed about the OSI Open System Interconnection, as well as based on the OSI model, OSI reference model, TCP/IP model was developed. The TCP/IP model defined various protocols for data transmission over a network. In addition to that, the TCP/IP included other protocol. The most important protocol is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, that is called HTTP. Everyone, we observe that when we entering a URL, Uniform Resource Locator, to access a particular website, we observe that HTTP. So that means some set of rules are included to access the data, to identify the particular web server. The HTTP helps. So what is HTTP? What are the rules are included? How it helps? How it can access? What are the methods are included, etc. The brief discussion is made in this class today class, describing, explaining about the complete HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Here we observe that in the TCP and OSI mechanism there are 7 layers are there. In TCP/IP 4 layers are there. So whatever in TCP/IP or OSI, the most important user layer is the application layer. So that means it allows the users to interact. It is also nothing but interface layer. It allows the users to enter into the browsing or to access the information from the web server. The application layer helps and provides the necessary tools. So here the HTTP works on application layer. So what is a protocol and what is HTTP? Here I am defining. That is, protocol, we know that it is some set of rule. Here also same thing. A protocol is a standard procedure for defining and regulating communication. For example, TCP, UDP, HTTP, etc. All these protocols, what it is doing, having some standard procedures. The purpose is to define and regulating communication. Why? Everyone know that the internet is nothing but a communication. So different type of information accessing, loading, downloading, uploading, etc. So the purpose is to communicate with one with others, or there are many people who are communicating through a internet by using different type of web servers. So for such communication purpose, some standard procedures are there. Such standard procedures are called protocols. Such protocols are here. We know that TCP, UDP, HTTP. Already we know that TCP, UDP. Now we have to concentrate on HTTP. The simple means here, HTTP is the foundation of data communication for the World Wide Web. Generally we know that the internet is nothing but a web, or it's a short form of World Wide Web. Simply we know that World Wide Web or internet both are same. So the communication made with WW, that is with the standard procedure is HTTP. Once again, the basic thing here, it is the foundation. Which is the foundation? HTTP is the foundation. For what purpose? To communicate web or to communicate WWW. Then HTTP is the web application layer protocol for transferring various forms of data between server and client, like plain text, hypertext, image, videos, and so on. Generally The web server or World Wide Web or internet supporting multimedia component. We know that the multimedia definition is that it is a combination of audio, video, images, text, etc. All these the combination provide a component. Such component is called multimedia. The through a web server, through a internet, through World Wide Web, we are exchanging multimedia components. So that means you may transfer data, that may be plain text, that may be hypertext, that may be image, that may be videos and sounds, whatever, all such components, all such forms of data transmitting through a network, through a webs. For that purpose, the HTTP plays a key role. For that purpose, what we are saying here, the first point, HTTP is the hypertext transfer protocol. The second point, it works on application layer. And third point, it is the web application layer protocol. The purpose is to transferring various forms of data. Such forms are plain text, ciphertext, hypertext, image, video, and sounds. Then come to terminology. What are the terminologies using in World Wide Web or web mechanism? That is IP. We know that IP means internet protocol. So every server, every client, wherever you are accessing, such computer must having a some ID, that is called IP address. That means the internet is connecting more number of web servers, more number of computers. Some of the computers works as a client, some of the computers works as a web server. Here the web server means the information which stores and responds whenever required by the client, that is a web server. The client is nothing but a computer. It allow the users to connect internet and allow the users to access information from web server and allow the users to upload information to the web server. So that may be client, that may be a server. In the network system, each and every computer having a unique ID, that is called IP address. Any internet protocol address, that is nothing but IP address, is a numerical label assigned to each device that computer, printer participating in a computer network that uses the internet protocol for communication. The device which uses internet protocol communication, the device must have a unique address. Such address is called IP address. Here we know that in the worldwide communication system, that is internet connecting more number of computers. So each computers or any device, such device must be allow the users to communicate with each other. So such devices must having a unique address on the internet, that is called IP address. Then TCP. Already we discussed that TCP is nothing but transmission control protocol. TCP is one of the two original care of protocols for internet protocol suite, and is also common that the entire suite is often called TCP IP. We know that TCP IP is the model. With help of TCP IP model only today the internet is working. So we observe that TCP playing a key role. Without TCP, without IP, there is no meaning of internet. Both are having some rules. Both are included various other protocols. Here also same thing. TCP IP is a combination. So that means here the two original core protocols to work internet. Then come to port number. A port number is a 16-bit number which, when associated with IP address, complete the destination address for a communication session. So we observe that just discussed about the IP address. Such IP address having 16-bit number, such number is called port number. It used to identify the particular device to transmit data on particular session. Then socket. A socket is nothing but a combination of IP address and port number. It is simply an end while communication. Simply we know that the socket is a combination of IP address and port number. Combination of these two we have to define here as a socket. In the internet mechanism, these are the basic terminologies using, that is IP address, TCP, IP, port number and socket. Then come to how HTTP works. HTTP is implemented in two programming, a client program and a server program, executing on different end systems talk to each other by exchanging HTTP messages. Generally, HTTP what it is doing, it is using two programs. One program for client program and other program is server program. Generally, the client, when the user enter into the network, they are using a computer. Such computer is called client. So with help of the computer, they are connecting a server. The server is responding. For the response of the server, the program works, that is server program. The request and responses receives request through a client, response from the server. So here the client side also program is essential, and server side is also a program is essential. You are requesting through a client and responding by the server. These two programs defined or implemented by HTTP. The purpose is to each other by exchanging HTTP messages. That means the client is sending a message that reaching to the server, and server is sending a message that reaching to the client. The message which is transmitting through a network, over the internet, is called HTTP messages. Then HTTP client first initiates a TCP connector with the server. Once the connection is established, the browser and the server processes access TCP through their socket interfaces. With help of the sockets only, the HTTP client requests, based on the request, the TCP establishes the communication connection between the client and server. Once the connection is established, the messages are exchanged between the client and server through a socket interfaces. This is the how HTTP works. Here a figure is there, that is simply we know that this is the client, it is the server. This is communicating with help of the internet. Here the HTTP is requesting and server is responding. This is a figure how HTTP works. Then come to continuation of this. Suppose client wants to visit a particular website. Here www.yahoo.com. Here it is a website address. Such address will be called as URL, uniform resource locator. Here client is there. Clients having some IP address and port. Combination of these two is called a socket. Then here IP address and port is there. Here also same thing. It's combination of these two is called a socket. So with help of this URL, such URL can identify transmitted as a form of socket. Based on the socket, the client and server must be established communication. Once connection is established, the HTTP messages are exchanged between client and web server. Then come to the continuation, means what is IP for www.yahoo.com. Here the client just in the particular URL location, the client entered such www.yahoo.com. It can be transferred as a IP address, that is here it is given as the IP address and port. Combination of the DNS server establishes the particular web server which having yahoo.com. Then the client can, once it is established, the client IP and a combination of the socket is there, the IP address port, the data transmitted to this client Once it is established, the client may be accessed, the client may send. If the information you want to store in the clients want to store in the server, that can be transmitted to the server. If the client is needed, essential the information from the server, it can be accessed from the web server. In this manner, the HTTP is working. Then, in the continuation, in what way it is going, what is the IP for www.yahoo.com, what this is the IP address. The yahoo.com URL is converted into this type of numerical value. It is requested, then the DNS server is responded to the client. That may be mail, that may be a search engine, that may be any other information accessing through a network by the client, and same time the client transmitting such messages to the server when the client wants to store on it. Then come to how HTTP works means, it's more here also same thing. Different methods are using for request and response. Here the get web page and get method is used, post method is used. Here two methods are there. Client side program uses the get method to access information from the web server. Then web server responds, and the information which is requested by the client can be can posted through a post method. So in the what way the concerned web page displays on client, the web page contains various hyperlinks, information, other components. Such components can be accessed by the client based on the accessing, based on the rules, based on the available data on the web page. The user can access, the user can link other pages also, other servers also. These are the two methods, basic methods are using in HTTP to work with the web server. So in here the key rule is the HTTP. What it is doing, it using two methods, that is get method and post method. Get method for the client side, post method can be used by the server side. Then here persistent and non-persistent connections. In a non-persistent connections, each request response pair are sent over a separate TCP connection. In persistent connection, all of the requests and their corresponding responses are sent over the same TCP connections. Here the HTTP may use persistent or non-persistent connections. We have to observe this. Here the persistent connection, what it is doing means, it uses the request and responses with the same TCP connection. If non-persistent connection, for request is one type of connection is using by HTTP, and response from other connection. Simply persistent means it uses two TCP connections. Non-persistent persistent means it using same connection for request and response. For non-persistent, it uses two different TCP connections. Response TCP connection for response is different from TCP connection from a request. Here the request through a client, the response from the server. If two connections are established, such type of communication is known as, such type of connection is known as non-persistent. If both are using same connection, that is called persistent connection. As requirement, as the situations, the HTTP use such type of connections. Then HTTP request message. Here the first line of HTTP request message is called the request line, and the subsequent lines are called the header lines. The request line has three fields: the method field, the URL field, and the HTTP version field. The method field can take and several different values include get, post, head, put, and delete, etc. The great majority of HTTP request message use the get method. The get method is used when the browser requests an object with the request object identified in the URL field. So how it is requesting the message? We observe here that the first thing, HTTP request message called a request line, and the subsequent lines, the first line is called a request line, and other subsequent lines with the request line are called headlines. The request line having three fields, that is method field, URL field, and the HTTP version field. Three fields are there in the request line. Generally, to request the message by the client, the HTTP uses request method. In this request method, first line is called request line, and other subsequent lines are called header lines. In the first line contains the three fields, that is method field and the URL field and the HTTP version field. The method field, what it is doing, can take several different methods, different values including get to, post to, head, put, and delete, etc. The great majority of HTTP request messages use the get method. The get method is used when the browser requests an object with the request object identified in the URL field. So with help of the URL only we can access information. So for the URL, it requires the get method, version, and URL field. These three fields are containing request line. Then come to request methods. Different methods for using here: get method, head, delete, options, put to, post to, trace, connect. These are the request methods. Get method is there, head method is there, delete, options, put to, post to, trace, connect. Here get method, what it is doing, retrieve document identified in URL. The get method purpose to retrieve document from where identified in URL. The URL is identified a particular document, such document must be retrieved by get method. Then head, retrieve meta information about document identified in URL. Here meta information is nothing but information about information is nothing but meta information. For meta information purpose, the head method is using. Delete specified URL. Delete method used to a particular URL, particular selected URL must be deleted. Then options, request information about available options. It provides various options which are available to access the information. Put, store document under specified URL. The put method is used to store a particular file or particular document on specified URL. Then post, to give information to the server. To provide information to the server, the post method is using. Trace, loop back request message is called, the trace method is used to loop back request message and connect for use by proxies. These are the various methods. Request methods are used by HTTP for specific purpose. Then come to response messages. You are requesting, the client is requesting the server according to request of the server client. The server need to be respond. It has three sections: an initial status line, header lines, and the entire body, entity body. The entity body contains the request object itself. The status line has three fields: the protocol version field and status code and a corresponding status message. Here it is there. Here also same thing in response time. Three sections are there. One is initial status line, and second one is header lines, and the third one is entity body. The entity body contains the requested object itself. The status line has three fields: The protocol version field, a status code and a corresponding status message. Remember here, 3 sections, 3 fields. 3 sections, status line, header lines, entity body. 3 fields, uh, the protocol version field, nothing but HTTP version and status code and a corresponding status message. The message is transmitting, the message transmitted, the message is processing, etc. is the corresponding status message. So here also same thing. Here 3 sections are there and 3 fields for the status line. Status line having 3 fields, 3 sections, that is status line, header lines and entity body. Into the and the status line contains 3 fields, that is version, protocol version, status code and a corresponding status message. Then some common status codes and associated phrases. So what are the status codes? Here some common status codes and associated phrases are 200 okay means request succeeded of the information is returned in the response. If such code is displayed means if 200 okay code is responded, that means it requests the request of the client succeeded and the information returned in the response. And 301 means moved permanently, request object has been permanently moved. The new URL is specified in the location header of the response message. The right software will be automatically retrieve in the new URL. So if 301 is the status code, it means the information, the requested information or the requested has been moved to the new URL permanently from the old one. Then 400 is nothing but bad request. 200 is the okay, 301 is the moved permanently, 400 is the bad request. There is a generic error code including that request could not be understood by the server. Sometimes the address may be not found, it may be contain some errors. In such situations we observe that a code is called 400, that is nothing but bad request. Then 401 not found, the request document does not exist on the server. In the server, if the document requested by the client is not existed, at that time the 401. In the 400 page some errors. In 401 the document is not existing. Then 505 HTTP version not supported. If the 505 a particular document is requesting the server, for that document is not supported by the HTTP version at the client part. You are requesting a document, such document must be retrieved through a HTTP at the client side. The client side HTTP version is not supported. At that time we observe the status code is called 505. Very simple. 505 means HTTP version not supported. Here very simple. 200 is the successful, 301 is the moved permanently, 400 is the bad request, 401 not found, 505 HTTP version not supported. Then HTTP a stateless protocol. Here two more points about the HTTP. HTTP is a stateless protocol because an HTTP server maintains no information about the clients. If a particular client asks for some object twice in a period of few seconds, the server does not respond by saying that it just served the object to the client. Instead, the server responds the object as it has completely forgotten what it did earlier. It is very simple. The HTTP is a stateless protocol means it doesn't contain the client information, and moreover in particular client asks for some object twice in a period of few seconds, the server does not respond because the responsive information is available at that client only, and again it is asking, the server can't respond. Here the 2 points: one is it is stateless protocol. It shows HTTP server maintains no information about the clients. If a particular client asks for same object in a period of few seconds, the server does not respond. This is the rule of the HTTP. Then user server interactions, nothing but cookies. User server interactions are nothing but cookies. HTTP server being stateless, simply server design and has permitted engineers to develop high performance web servers that can handle thousands of simultaneous TCP connections. However, it is often desirable for a website to identify users either because the server wishes to restrict user access or because it wants to serve content content as a function of user identify three purposes. HTTP uses cookies. Cookies allow sites to keep track of users. The cookies terminology has four components: a cookie header line in the HTTP response messages, a cookie header line in the HTTP requested messages, a cookie file kept on the user's end system and managed by the user's browser, a backend database at the website. So here cookies are nothing but user server interactions. Just we observe that the HTTP contains no information about the clients, but the HTTP having some cookies. Such cookies are maintaining. Cookies are nothing but a programs. HTTP interactions, user server interactions. Here cookies are maintaining the four components: a cookie header line in the HTTP response message, a cookie header in the HTTP request message, a cookie file kept on the user's end system and managed by the user's browser, a backend database at the website. This is the foundations, important key components about the HTTP hypertext transfer protocol. And the next content will maintains as a notes, important notes about the HTTP. Here we observe that is here. The first one, HTTP stands for hypertext transfer protocol, and it is a request response mechanism. Here request from the client, response from the server, and HTTP used to establish connection between server and client. Then a transaction is initiated by a client sending a request to server, and server generates a response. Here the first point, what it is saying, request response mechanism. Request initiated by the client, and according to the request of the client, the server generates a response. Then a resource identification. The HTTP, what it is doing, resource identification also. That means each HTTP request includes a URL, uniform resource identifier, URI. URL means in uniform resource locator. Generally web address is called URL. Such URL must be identified by the HTTP to connect the web server. Then statelessness. The server does not maintain any information about the transaction. Metadata support. Metadata about information can be exchanged in the messages. Metadata about information can be exchanged in the messages. Then HTTP request format. Here request line is like this: get index.html. HTTP 1.0 means specifies request method. This is the request method, request line. Header line is the URL, that is www.content-networking.com. Some particular date user accept. This specifies the resource URL and metadata, and carriage return line if anything is there. Message body, content length, message payload. This is the HTTP request format. Then request methods are get method, put method, head method, get, post, head, put, delete, and other methods also trace options. One by one we'll see. That is get method. Whenever information is identified by the request URL for the get method, can get static content and data produced by a program. Post method, it submit information to web server. Example, posting to blog, submission of user form, information is included in message only. The actual function depends on request URL. These are the request methods, get method and post method. Get method, what it is doing, what information is done by the request URI, can get static content and data produced by a program. And post method, submit information to web server. Example, posting to blog, submission of user form, information is included in message body. The actual function depends on request URI, that is post method. Then request methods continuation, head method, what it is doing, it serves a response does not include the message body, useful for getting resource metadata without transferring the message. Then also useful for debugging, checking for validity, accessibility and modification. Put method, it requests a server store the enclosed data and the supplied request URL, creates the resource if does not create, not useful for web publishing. The put method is not for web publishing. Then delete method, it removes the web object, it needs to be carefully used for secure reasons. Delete, name itself is in removing a web object. For that purpose, if the user client is request to remove a particular object, they are using delete method to remove such object, and it must be used carefully for security reasons. If some of the essential information must be authenticated by a particular person, such authenticated information can't be deleted by unauthorized users. Moreover, if a person permit to delete, the person need to take care before deleting it. Sometimes it is essential to for others or other components. So this method can be implemented in careful manner. Then request methods, other one trace method is there. It invokes a remote application layer feedback of the request message, and it is useful for testing what is being received at the server. Also possible to forward to intermediary is for debugging purposes. Trace method, what it is doing means, the first point, it invokes a remote application layer feedback of the request message, and it is useful for testing what is being received at the server, and also possible to forward intermediaries for debugging purposes. So it also possible to forward some intermediaries. The purpose is to debugging purposes. And options, it's a last method in request method, that is options. It provides the information about communication. Various options are available to server. Based on the options, the user may request the server as per desirable. Then HTTP response format, this is the status HTTP status line, header line, then message body, content. This is the status line with the result code and phrase. Then specify server and resources metadata. Here result code and phrase, 1xx information not done yet. Status code, if 1xx means informational not done, 2xx success you win, 3xx means redirection you lose but try again, 4xx means client server, you lost your fault. 5xx means server error, you lost my bad. Here same status codes earlier discussed. 200 is okay, 204 is the no client, 300 is multiple choices, 301 moved permanently, 302 moved temporarily, 304 not modified, 400 bad request, 401 unauthorized, 404 not found, 501 internal server error. These are the status codes, these are the responses from the server. Based on the codes, user, the client may understand the situation's status of their request according to the request of the user. Such if it is okay, if it is the response is as per the requirement of the, as per request of the user, if it is okay, the status code is 200. If it is content is not there, that is 201, 204. If multiple choices are there, that code is 300. Moved permanently 301, moved temporarily 302, not modified 304. 400 is the bad request, 401 unauthorized, 404 not found, 500 is internal server error. Then improvements in HTTP 1.1 version. This is persistent connections. We observe that persistent, non-persistent. If non-persistent, two connections are using. Persistent means only one connection. That is, keeps the connections open after the server response. Connections can be closed by either client or server. Request pipelining allows client to several requests without waiting for a response. Server response in the same order. Chunked encoding allows sender a break message into arbitrary sized chunks, useful for dynamically created response messages. Then cookies. HTTP is a stateless protocol. Cookies manage state maintenance by shifting the burden to client. Cookies are transmitted in a clear text, that is security issues. This is the client, this is the server. This is the first client request, it is second client request, and the client does not interpret the cookie string. Server is presented with the previously returned state information. Then user authentication. This is the cookies. About the cookies, it is user authentication. User's browser information remembers credentials and includes them in headers for subsequent requests. Browsers typically deletes stored authentication credentials once browser is closed. HTTP allows various authentication mechanisms. That is, client usually HTTP request, HTTP response with code, HTTP request including header line, usually HTTP response, usual HTTP response including header line authentication, usual HTTP response. This is about the HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, one of the important protocols in TCP/IP. We know that TCP/IP is a internet protocol suite, so that means it contains more number of protocols, more number of rules for data transmission over a network. Presently the internet works based on the HTTP only. Different versions are developed in HTTP. So each and every version having some special rules, special supporting files. Especially the HTTP is a request response protocol. Here the request, it requests through a client and response from the server. There are various methods are used for request purpose. At the same time, there is various methods are there for responses. Today class completely discussed about the HTTP. Thank you for listening this class.